Is that looking a bit patchy there? It is. Fantabulous. You're my favorite girl.
Forgive me, Father, but I gotta take a chance. Oh, I'm already gone, so blessed. Pray for me.
Hello. What is that? Anyway, hey FamBam, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're new, how you guys doing? So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a review on the new ABH Riviera Palette. I asked babes on Instagram if you all wanted to see a review on it, and over 90% of you said yeah. So here I am doing it. Okay, so let's just jump straight into this review. All right, if you see me looking down, that's because I'm looking down at my notes. So this retails for 45 US dollars, 82 Australian dollars, and 46 UK pounds. What I noticed is that this palette is about $3 or so more expensive than the other ones, like the Subculture, the Modern Renaissance. If we were to use the US price, which is 45 US dollars, that means you're buying each shadow for about $3.02 or 20 cents or something like that. Now Australia, they increased the price by adding another like $12 something on top of it. It's just mainly in Sephora actually, but on Beauty Bay, if you're based in Australia and you want to buy this palette, we haven't reviewed it yet, but just in case you're thinking about it, go and order it on Beauty Bay. It is currently $69.50 or something like that on Beauty Bay, so I would highly suggest you buy there, and it's free shipping, because in Sephora it's $82. 82. Why? Like how rude. 82. Who are you? Who you help? I get it, like it's tax and whatnot, but come on, if Beauty Bay can sell it for like $69.50, why can't you sell it for the same amount, or even maybe $70? So this is what the outer packaging of the palette itself looks like. It comes in this, I like the color of this packaging, to be honest, like the blue and white stripes and the gold writing, but it's not really about the box anyway. And at the back as well, you can see that it has the colors that's in the palette at the back, and it also has the information at the back end, the ingredients as well. This one has 18 months shelf life. I was comparing that to the Subculture and the Modern Renaissance palette, and I noticed that both the Subculture, maybe I have noticed this before but I actually forgot, both the Subculture and the Modern Renaissance have 6 months shelf life. That is interesting, but I've had the Modern Renaissance for over 2 years. I've had this for so there's 14 colors in here. I opened this yesterday and I was like, this feels so good. This is what the eyeshadow palette itself looks like. The packaging itself, like, you know, like the usual packaging of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, they have like, what is this, like velvet suede or whatever, velvet kind of packaging, you know, but this one kind of feels like the jeans I have in my wardrobe. It's nice. Look at me bringing it closer so you can feel it. When you open the palette, so it comes with this sleeve here that's protecting the shadow from the mirror, and you can see here that we've got 14 eyeshadow colors, and it also comes with a brush. Oops, we just dropped that. I actually like these brushes, the brushes that comes with the ABH palette, and that just drops wherever. Just stay on the floor. If that's where you're gonna stay, just stay there, okay? I don't care. I do care. So we've got 14 shadows and pressed pigments. So there's 8 matte, 4 metallics, and 2 duochromes. So it's a combination of cool and warm tone colors in here, and some neutral colors as well, which is cool. They also say this palette is cruelty-free, paraben-free, dermatologic tested, and gluten-free as well. Why is the palette gluten-free? Are we gonna eat it? What does gluten do when you apply on the skin instead of ingesting it? I want to Google that. If you do Google that before I do, let me know down below. Actually, yesterday when I was opening the box, I noticed that this fell out. I can't remember if this came with the other palettes, and it just says Anastasia on it, and I keep dropping everything today. Are you kidding me? And on here, it says that the shade Bahamas, Palm, and Cans are not intended for use around the immediate eye area. Maybe it's because it's gonna stain as well, so that's probably it. But just letting you know in case you get a reaction or something from it. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, which I'm sure you already know, the palette also comes with a mirror as usual. Woohoo! I'm gonna bend this. I always bend them all anyway. I mean, it's still gonna close because it's magnetic. So magnetic, whatever. Wojare, I can't speak. What I'm looking for in here is to see if the blendability game of this palette is up there, if the color payoff is good, how much fallout we're gonna get. I am expecting fallout because it's ABH palette and because there's pressed pigment in here as well. First attempt was a little bit of a flop, and here's a little clip of it, but before that, these are the shades that I used, a combination of matte and metallics, like the shimmers. Oh, this is brand new. I don't want to use it yet. I really want to try this Palm shade, which is the like chocolatey brown matte color, and it's one of the pressed pigments. But first, first, I want to try this Coastline. Is that looking a bit patchy there? It is. Purplish color. Let me apply it right here. That gap right there doesn't want to be filled in with shadow. Do you see that? This is called Sales. Put it right here. Nope. Let's grab the yellow gold. Oh my god, that is so pretty. I'm gonna wet the brush. Dang, that's blinding. I can't even speak. Palm shade again and just... To be honest with you, I don't know what's going on right now. No. All right, we're gonna try this again. Let's go back into the palette. So I turned on my air conditioning. I hope the mic is not picking it up. And if it is, I apologize, but I was very hot, okay? When I start talking, I become hot, and that's what's happened. Actually, it's now too cold. Does anyone else do that? Like you turn on the air conditioning and literally like 10 seconds later, you're like, oh my God, it's too cold. I'm gonna start with Monte Carlo this time around. Earlier, I started with Coastline and it was really nice, peachy on the crease. But now I wanna try this Monte Carlo shade. This is also kind of like a pinkish shade as well. I am going to be using the Shop Missy LA Studio E136 brush, just a blending brush. I'm just gonna apply this in the crease, just for a soft pinkish, purplish transition. And that is beautiful. Honestly, the way this blends is so beautiful. The main issue I have so far with the palette is the pressed pigment in this palette, which is Cannes and Palms, but mainly Palms. Palms is a beautiful brown shade, but when mixed with undercolor, it doesn't really work really well because I mixed it with under pressed pigment, which is Cannes, so I think that's my fault. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just use the pressed pigment on its own without really mixing it as much. I don't know if that makes sense, but let's just keep going. So Monte Carlo is not a pressed pigment. Now I'm gonna grab the shade Estee, which is kind of pink, but it's more, but it's less peachy than Coastline. It's kind of ashy on my lid, as you can see, but I'm just gonna blend that in right here. I just want to soften the shade Monte Carlo a little bit more because I've been using that little brush that comes with Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. This one now feels a bit too soft for me. It's just weird. Like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like I cannot be satisfied. All right, so we're gonna go into the pressed pigment here, which is Cannes, whatever it's called, which is that purplish violet-ish shade. Dab it off, and it does have a lot of kickback in it. Okay, I'm just gonna gently mix it with the other matte shade and just put it in my crease right here. Okay, that's mixing nicely. I'm just gonna go gradually, you know, I really like purple, and I'm gonna start building it up, mainly focusing the heaviest on the outer corner and the softest in the inner corner because I'm gonna cut the crease. See, that is really blending nicely. Now, if I go ahead and add palm to it, it's gonna be a disaster. That is really nice. That is such a nice purple. Do you see this purple? Can you see this? Or is this washing out? Oh, it's deeper than it looks on camera right now. Should I reduce the brightness a little bit? Hang on. My goodness. Can you see that? Is that better? Yes. Oh, yes. That is such a nice purple. I want to put this like everywhere here. I'm picking up Monte Carlo again and just applying it a bit. Just on the edge of the purple right here, just have that nice peachy to purple gradient right there. I'm gonna grab the flat brush and grab the shade Sales, which is a matte white shade, and put this, actually I'm gonna mix it with Estee, but let's put Sales down first. Put it in my brow bone, and I'm putting Estee on top. Okay, there we go. So now I am gonna go ahead and cut my creases in Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Tan Sand. I should really use my cut crease too, but should I cut it or should I just apply the shimmer? I'll cut it. So I just place it down and then just gonna look up, and whatever I transfer to is where I'm gonna take the cut to. All right, so there we go. Now I'm gonna grab the flat edge of the dual-ended brush that came with the palette itself. There's a bit of color on there. We're just gonna wipe it off, that's okay. And what color should I put here? I don't know. Let's go with a bit of silver. I'm gonna grab the shade Seaside, which is like a silver shade, and this is the duochrome in here. It has like a purplish to it as well, you know. Do you see that? Oh, that is beautiful. And I did not spray the brush yet. That is beautiful. Now let me spray the brush. I'd use this. Did I use the silver earlier or did I use Mediterranean? I think it was Mediterranean. It was nice too, you know. I want to put that yellow gold here. Alright, I'm putting this yellow gold here. I had the same reaction when I used it earlier as well. And I'm just gonna mix it with that silver a bit. But I'm putting the heaviest in the inner corner and just slightly covering the seaside with the rest of what's on the brush. Oh, beautiful. I just want you to know that you're my favorite girl. Okay. That is fantabulous. Fantabulous. That is beautiful. I just want you to know that you're my favorite girl. All right, so that's beautiful. Is it? Is it really? I like it. Do you? Yes. Yes, you do. I'm gonna go and find liner, apply lashes, and I'll be right back. Guys, I am loving this look right now. Oh my gosh, it's like purple royalty, girl. Hello. Okay. I went ahead and applied lashes. I also applied liner, the Inglot's number 77 gel liner. The lashes I applied are double stacked, so yes. I'm gonna go ahead and do my base. I think I'm gonna review a foundation, like do a foundation test. I can't wait. I'm so happy I'm back doing foundation test. Anyway, I'm gonna go and do all that shenanigans, okay, all that shifaz, okay, and I will be right back. Right now, girl. Okay, here we go. 1,000 hours later, we are back. Okay, I've done my full face and now I can tell you my thoughts on this palette, okay? But first of all, my thoughts on this eye look. I absolutely love it. I've just been staring out of my... Waiting to happen. I've been staring at myself in the mirror literally throughout. And I like what I see, okay? I feel like I'm getting married, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the purple... I don't know, it's just weird. I just feel like there's something big and ceremonious thing going on, you know what I mean? Anyway, here we are. As I did show you guys earlier, I did have a little bit of issues with this palette, and I did go in to the palette knowing that issue might happen, but I still wanted to test it anyway just to see, okay? And what issue am I talking about? I'm talking about the whole pigment fiasco. Palm being that dark chocolatey brown color. I wanted to see how that's gonna really translate on my lid because I really love brown colors on my eyes. They just look really, really nice. As you guys saw earlier, it didn't really work out for me as much, especially when I started to blend in cans, the purple shade with it as well. But even before that, it looked a bit patchy. Now, what I have read so far kind of suggested to me that with pressed pigment, it's better to pack it on rather than blend it with a fluffy brush. Like pack it on and maybe like blend the edge and whatnot. So maybe that's what I should have done to start with after I've applied the concealer. And it did say that with pressed pigment, it's better not to set the concealer or the eyeshadow primer or whatever. And I did not do that, so I didn't go around with that. So I think this is just one of those shades like the subculture that I just need to kind of like work your way around. I do want to try it again and like apply all over my lid and apply like a muted like orangish color in the crease, you know, like I usually do. I want to try that with it, so next video maybe we're gonna see. But aside from the shade Palm in this palette, the rest of the shade I absolutely love. Now I didn't use all the shades in this palette, but the shades that I use, I absolutely love them all. I love the shade Cans. As you can see, it looks really beautiful on the eyes. This shade right here, the Monte Carlo shade, this is a nice beautiful soft pink shade. I absolutely love that shade. And this shade Bahamas, which is one of the pressed pigments, but this performed beautifully when I combined it with the shade Cans under my eyes, okay? It did not go patchy at all, which I really like as well. The shimmer shades here, they are a bit crumbly, okay, but they are still beautiful and have a really nice payoff on the lid. Even when you don't spray the brush with the spray, even when you apply it with a dry brush, it still applies beautifully. That's what I'm trying to say. And then when you now spray the brush, girl, yes. And you know, I'm not surprised because that's basically what you get with Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes anyway, in my opinion. Now the other shades that I haven't really tried or swatched at all is the shade Yacht Cabana. That's it. That's it actually. When I was doing the second eyes, I literally finished it just like that, like under 3 minutes, finished it. Okay, I didn't put the time that I used to cut my crease into that, so maybe like 5 minutes. So easy to use, so easy to blend together with other shades. The main pressed pigment in this palette that's kind of hard to use with other shades for me, what I found so far, in my opinion.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
Anyway, okay, it's the shade Palm, and I am going to try that again later on. All right, yes, it performed well, but just be aware that when you do dip your brush into it, you will get a lot of kickback. Okay, so after dipping the brush, I just dipped the brush in a few of the palettes so you can see it. So that's what it would look like. So just be aware of that. If that doesn't bother you, then you know that's fantastic. And I just swatched it for you so you can see what it looks like when swatched. Okay, it swatched really nicely. Now, would I recommend this palette? Do you need this palette? Do you need it? There's a difference between need and want. Okay, if we're talking about money, because this is more of not affordable, high-end side, I wouldn't say you need it, especially if you have other palettes in your collection that has like different range of colors and whatnot. Like if you have the, I know this one does not have a shimmer in it, the Revolution Pro Regenerate palette. This is all matte colors, but literally the colors in here are in here. I just noticed that. Okay, one or two are missing, but damn, they're very close. They're very, very close. This is Revolution, the Riviera palette up here, and this is the Revolution palette. One of the mattes, this one I combined a couple of shades to kind of get to that brown, just so you can see that even if you can't get this exact brown, you can get something close to it by mixing two shades in the Regeneration palette together. Okay, now the only downfall in the Regeneration palette is the fact that it doesn't have a shimmer, so we understand that. Okay, if you have this and then you have a few other shimmers and whatnot, you'll be fine. I wouldn't necessarily say you need it. Now, if you want it though, I love it. I would recommend the palette based on the, you know, the color scheme, the formula, you know, just the payoff. Not for Palm. I'll try Palm again later, okay? Is it revolutionary? Is it something that we haven't seen in such a long time that you're like, I gotta have it? No. And I've had it on my eyes for a few hours now. Yes, a few hours, and it hasn't faded. No, it hasn't faded. I did clean it up a little bit when I was putting my concealer here, so yeah, and it didn't really change color unless I didn't notice. Okay, so remember in the beginning I said that they mentioned that the shade Bahamas, Cannes, and Palm are not for use around the immediate eye area because one of the ingredients or some of the ingredients are not FDA approved and whatnot. Okay, but as you can see, I used Cannes and whatnot, and I even used Palm earlier on. I haven't really gotten any reaction from it. Hopefully never. Okay, so I will update you guys and let you know if it does stay in my eyes or whatever, or if I get any allergic reaction from it. So that's all I've got to say about this palette. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this palette. Have you already bought it? Are you considering buying it, or do you have other palettes in your collection that you can use to replace this palette in terms of color? I did see this other Revolution palette that's floating about that everyone's talking about being a dupe or the perfect dupe for this palette. I was gonna buy it, but I don't know. But I'll think about it. But aside from that, let me know down below if this is something you're considering as well, and also let me know what you think about this look as well. I would really like to know. Okay, I love it, so you have to. Once again, if you're yet to subscribe, please make sure you subscribe down below and turn on notification. Okay, did I actually say that in the beginning? I'm not really quite sure. I'm filming 2 videos in one today, so I'm a little bit confused. All right, but if you're yet to subscribe, please make sure you subscribe down below. And if you are new to my channel, hey, my name is Esther, aka MsTopacJay. Okay, and yeah, thank you so much for watching FamBam. So once again, thank you so much for watching FamBam. And as always, whatever you're doing, to love yourself, okay? And I'll see you babes in my very next video. Goodbye. I've forgotten what I used. So this is the AB, I can't speak. If the blendability is, you know, if the blendability, if the blah, blah, blah.
Park the car in Aardvark Yard.
Park the car in Aardvark Yard. So we've got 3 press pigments here. Cons. No. So we've got 3 excuse me. I'm sweating like a leaf. Is a what our